The feds kicked down Diddy's door expecting to find evidence of a crime, but what they actually discovered was straight out of a supervillain's lair. When Homeland Security raided Diddy's mansions in Los Angeles and Miami earlier this year, they didn't just find stacks of cash or designer clothes. They uncovered a real-life horror show. Hidden among the luxury were 3 illegal, defaced AR-15 rifles, a drum magazine capable of holding dozens of rounds, and, most bizarrely, 784 dildos lined up like some kind of twisted art installation. But the most damning evidence? Hard drives packed with footage of Diddy's infamous freak-off parties, where prosecutors allege he drugged, recorded, and trafficked victims for years. One DHS agent even compared Diddy's operation to Jeffrey Epstein's, describing rooms outfitted with hidden cameras to capture every angle. Some so well hidden, victims never knew they were being filmed. And when Diddy's lawyers tried to dismiss the 1,000+ bottles of baby oil and lube as a bulk purchase, Costco publicly clapped back, confirming they don't even sell those products. This isn't just about wild parties, it's about predatory control. The indictment claims Diddy used these tapes to blackmail victims into silence, ensuring no one dared speak out. But now that the feds have those recordings, Hollywood's biggest names are sweating bullets. Because if you think Diddy acted alone, you haven't seen the list of celebrities who partied with him. You've heard about Diddy's legendary white parties, the glamorous events filled with A-list celebrities and endless champagne. But what happened after midnight, when the real party started? That's where the story takes a disturbing turn. Multiple lawsuits describe these after-hours freak-offs as something straight out of a nightmare. According to court documents, Diddy would spike drinks with dangerous drugs like GHB and ketamine, then turn up the heat, literally, to make guests more disoriented and compliant. Former staff members say they were instructed to stock rooms with industrial-sized bottles of lube and baby oil before these events, while security made sure no one could leave until Diddy said so. Even more chilling, the feds claim these parties weren't just about sex, they were about control. Victims allege they were filmed without their knowledge, with hidden cameras capturing every angle. Some woke up days later with no memory of what happened, only to discover they'd been trafficked between Diddy's homes in different states. But here's the most shocking part: this wasn't some small-time operation. The indictment suggests these parties were meticulously planned, with guest lists curated to include vulnerable up-and-comers alongside powerful industry figures. And that brings us to the biggest question of all: who else was in the room when these crimes took place? For years, Diddy's abuses were Hollywood's worst-kept secret. But it wasn't until November 2023, when his former girlfriend Cassie filed a bombshell lawsuit, that the world finally saw the truth in black and white. The allegations were horrifying. Cassie claimed Diddy subjected her to over a decade of physical abuse, rape, and psychological torture. She described being forced to have sex with male sex workers while Diddy watched, then threatened with violence if she refused. When she tried to leave, she says Diddy would track her down and drag her back, sometimes literally, as seen in that now infamous hotel surveillance footage. But here's what most people missed: Cassie's lawsuit was just the tip of the iceberg. Her courage inspired dozens of other victims to come forward, including one who claims Diddy assaulted her when she was just 16 years old. Even more disturbing, many of these victims tell similar stories about being drugged, filmed without consent, and then silenced with threats or payoffs. The most damning evidence came from Diddy's own homes. During the raids, the feds reportedly found footage confirming Cassie's allegations, including videos of other celebrities participating in these abuses. Which makes you wonder, how many more Cassies are out there, still waiting to tell their stories? As the lawsuits pile up, one thing has become painfully clear: Diddy didn't operate alone. Court documents and insider accounts suggest an entire network of enablers, including some of the biggest names in entertainment. Take Usher, for example. Jaguar Wright, a former Bad Boy Records insider, claims Diddy passed down abusive behaviors to younger artists like Usher, who then allegedly repeated the cycle with Justin Bieber. Then there's Jennifer Lopez, who court documents suggest may have been involved in Diddy's 1999 nightclub shooting incident. Even more shocking, Suge Knight recently claimed federal agents showed Ben Affleck explicit tapes of Jennifer Lopez from Diddy's collection before their divorce. But the web extends far beyond musicians. CEOs from Warner Music, Sony Nashville, and Universal all mysteriously resigned within days of Diddy's arrest. And let's not forget about Diddy's strange friendship with Ashton Kutcher, who helped fund a teen chat site and once joked about waiting until girls turned 18 on camera. The most disturbing pattern? Many of these celebrities followed the same playbook. They'd attend Diddy's normal parties early in the night, then claim ignorance about what happened after they left. But with multiple witnesses now contradicting those stories, that excuse isn't holding up. So here's the real question. Were these celebrities complicit, or were they victims themselves? If the abuse allegations weren't disturbing enough, there's another layer to this story that chills to the bone. The suspicious deaths surrounding Diddy and his inner circle. Start with Kim Porter, Diddy's longtime girlfriend and mother of 3 of his children. In 2018, just as Porter was reportedly working on a tell-all book about their relationship, she suddenly died at age 47 from what was officially called lobar pneumonia. But insiders like Jaguar Wright claimed toxicology reports showed signs of poisoning, a theory that gained traction when Diddy's own lawyer admitted he's now afraid of being poisoned in jail. Then there's Diddy's former protege, Heavy D, who died mysteriously in 2011 after reportedly working on an expose about Bad Boy Records. Or consider the string of other associates, from producers to journalists, who died under questionable circumstances after crossing paths with Diddy. The most chilling case? The 1997 murder of Notorious B.I.G., which some investigators believe Diddy may have orchestrated to avoid paying Biggie's contract. While nothing was ever proven, the pattern is hard to ignore. People who threaten to expose Diddy's secrets have a habit of meeting tragic ends. With so many bodies left in Diddy's wake, you have to ask, how many of these accidents were actually something far more sinister? Imagine a world where speaking out could cost you everything. Your career, your reputation, your life. That's the chilling reality surrounding Sean Diddy Combs. Multiple people connected to him, like his ex-wife Kim Porter and rapper Heavy D, mysteriously died after planning tell-all books exposing his secrets. Kim, just 47, allegedly died of pneumonia in 2018, but whispers of poison linger. Diddy's former assistant, Jaguar Wright, claims toxins were found in her toxicology report. Others, like Andre Harrell, Diddy's mentor, also met untimely ends after hinting at explosive revelations, like an alleged explicit tape involving Diddy. Even those who survived, like Al B. Sure, ended up in comas after starting documentaries. Coincidence? Or a calculated cover-up? The pattern is undeniable. Cross Diddy, and danger follows. These weren't just accidents, they were warnings. As we unravel this twisted web, you'll see why victims stayed silent for decades, terrified of a man who seemed untouchable. But the truth is clawing its way out. Stick with me, because this rabbit hole gets darker, and the body count keeps rising. Who else paid the ultimate price? Let's find out. Buckle up, because this one's straight out of a crime thriller. Diddy didn't just play dirty in Hollywood. He allegedly tried to strike deals with a drug cartel. Alfredo P. Gonzalez, a jailed member of the Kaloa cartel, sued Diddy in 2021, claiming he was approached by Diddy's business partner to traffic underage boys and girls for his infamous parties. Yes, you heard that right. Diddy allegedly wanted kids smuggled across the U.S. border for his so-called freak-offs. Gonzalez refused, saying the cartel doesn't deal in underage trafficking, but Diddy's team kept pushing, promising it was all on lock. They even invited Gonzalez to watch the shows at these depraved events. This wasn't just a power trip. It was a fearless flex against one of the most dangerous organizations on earth. If Diddy was bold enough to strong-arm a cartel, imagine what he did to his victims. People with no power, no protection. The feds are now calling this human trafficking, and the evidence is piling up. Was Diddy a music mogul or a real-life movie villain? Stay tuned, because the next revelation will make your jaw drop even further. Hold your breath, because this is where the Diddy scandal turns truly gut-wrenching. Lawsuits are flooding in, revealing victims as young as 9 years old. One survivor claims Diddy lured them to a fake Bad Boy Records audition in New York, promising fame to them and their parents. Instead, they were allegedly sexually abused by Diddy and others in the studio, a sick bait and switch that scars for life. Over 120 credible lawsuits have surfaced, with victims ranging from kids to adults, all alleging assault, coercion, and drugging. These weren't just parties. They were traps, orchestrated with chilling precision. Diddy's team allegedly used drugs like GHB and ketamine to keep victims compliant, filming everything for blackmail. The courage of these survivors, inspired by Cassie's 2018 lawsuit, is finally breaking the silence. But imagine being 9, dreaming of stardom, only to face a predator. It's horrifying, and the scale is staggering. Over 3,000 people responded to a victim hotline in just 10 days. The truth is uglier than we ever imagined, and it's not over. Want to know who helped Diddy pull this off? The next part will blow your mind. The Diddy scandal isn't just shaking Hollywood, it's toppling music industry titans. Within days of Diddy's September 16, 2024 arrest, a wave of high-profile resignations hit like a bombshell. September 17, Kevin Liles, CEO of Warner Music's Elektra/300, quits after 20 years. September 18, Kei Kobayashi, head of Warner Music Japan, steps down with no successor named. September 19, Randy Goodman, Sony Music Nashville CEO, announces a sudden retirement. Coincidence? Think again. These exits scream damage control as the feds dig deeper into Diddy's empire. Were these execs complicit, or just running from the fallout? Lawsuits name CEOs like Ethiopia Habtemariam, Motown, and Charles Grau, Universal, for allegedly profiting off Diddy's exploitation. The timing feels like rats fleeing a sinking ship, and X is buzzing with theories. Did they know about the freak-offs? Were they on those tapes? The music industry's shiny facade is crumbling, revealing a dark underbelly of power and silence. As the investigation widens, who else will fall? Buckle up, because the final piece of this puzzle connects Diddy to one of the most notorious predators in history. If you thought Diddy's crimes were shocking, brace yourself. Federal agents are comparing him to Jeffrey Epstein. During the 2024 raids on Diddy's mansions, DHS agents uncovered rooms dedicated to sex, wired with hidden cameras recording every angle. Angles victims didn't even know existed. Sound familiar? One agent called Diddy just as bad as Epstein, pointing to his private Love Island and international trafficking network. Victims were allegedly flown across state lines, drugged with ketamine cocktails, and coerced into days-long freak-offs with sex workers, all while Diddy filmed for blackmail. Over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and 784 dildos were seized. Yes, you read that right. This wasn't just debauchery. It was a calculated operation, complete with employees setting up lighting and supplies like a twisted film set. Some victims needed IVs to recover from the drug-fueled marathons. The feds say Diddy's tapes, now leaking in Hollywood, could expose A-listers caught in his web. Is this why stars are distancing themselves? The truth is unraveling, and it's darker than any blockbuster. Want more? Drop a comment, because this scandal's just getting started. Thanks for diving into this wild Diddy scandal with us. The truth is unraveling, and it's darker than we imagined. Drop a comment with your thoughts or who we should investigate next. Hit that subscribe button, and let's keep exposing the secrets together. Stay curious, and we'll see you soon.